we go on to the third type of reaction. Find out what is common to these reactions given below. So you can see these 6 reactions, and you need to find out now, boys, what is common. So look at the reaction and you tell me what is common to all these reactions. Got it? I know what will be your answer. You will say, sir, in all these reactions there are 2 reactants and 2 products. Yes or no? Yes, I don't blame you for that. Even if I was in your place, I would have given the same answer. But what? Let's think a little more deeper in this case. In all these reactions, if you see, there is some displacing going on. In other words, if you see, Fe is taking the place of Cu, and what is formed? FeSO4. दैट मीन्स Cu का जगह किसने लिया? Fe ने, इसलिए Cu के बदले में कौन आया? FeSO4. and Cu got displaced, Cu got pushed aside, मतलब he was thrown out. Okay, now same way zinc, if you see, zinc is displacing H2, that is hydrogen, and instead of H2, who's going into the place of H2? Zinc, as you can see, and you get zinc sulfate, ZnSO4. Then third reaction, silver is taking the place of 2H, that is, and displacing 2H, and Ag is taking the place of 2H. In the fourth reaction, Pb, that is lead, is taking the place of copper, Cu, and forming lead sulfate, PbSO4. Fifth reaction, zinc, Zn, is taking the place of copper and forming zinc sulfate, and copper gets displaced. Now in all these reactions, you saw something is getting displaced. Now look, now can somebody just displace anybody else? Can I just go and push out somebody? No. To push out or to displace somebody, I need to be stronger than that person. Okay, so when can why can, in the first reaction, why does iron displace copper? Because iron is more, Fe is iron, iron is more reactive than copper. Okay, that's why he is able to displace copper. Second reaction, zinc is more stronger or more reactive than hydrogen, that's why he displaces hydrogen. Third reaction, silver is more reactive than hydrogen. So in all this reaction, we see a stronger element is displacing a less more reactive element is displacing a lesser reactive element from a compound to form a new compound. Okay, now if you see the second one, CuSO4, H2SO, they're all what? Compounds. So such reactions where this, okay, is, we call them as displacement reactions. Yeah, and let's see the definition. A chemical reaction in which the place of the ion of a less reactive element is taken by another more reactive element by formation of its own ions is called a displacement reaction. Now this definition you have to learn it by heart, but I am just telling in simple words. A more reactive element displaces a lesser reactive element, or you can say highly reactive elements displaces a lowly or lesser reactive element to form a new compound. Okay, that is my way of defining it. Okay, I hope you understood this. This is all clear. Okay, whatever is getting displaced, I had shown in green here, if you can see it. Okay, so let's move on the last type of reaction in this method of classification. Now we go on to the last type, as I said, of this type of this method of classification. So what you find out, again, what same question, find out what is common to the reactions given below. Yes, it's very easy. I have shown you with the colors, so it's very easy for you to understand what is common. Can you see what is common? Yes, here in all this reaction, if you see, each the elements are displacing each other. The elements are displacing each other. Like example, barium is displacing chromium. In the first reaction, barium Ba is displacing potassium K2, that is potassium, and potassium is displacing barium. So they are mutually, I can say in simple words, they are mutually exchanging their places. Okay, like barium and sulfate ka bond is broken, and chrome, and in the first reaction barium and sulfate ka bond is broken, and potassium and chromate ka bond is broken. So barium goes with chromate and potassium goes with sulfate, and that's why you get barium chromate in the first reaction product, and you get potassium sulfate. Second reaction, if you can see, sodium joins with Cl, that is chlorine, to give you sodium chloride, and calcium goes with with carbonate CO3 to give you calcium carbonate. Third reaction, silver Ag goes with, pairs with Cl, chlorine, to give you silver chloride, and Na, that is sodium, goes with NO3, that is nitrate, to give you sodium nitrate, NaNO3. And fourth reaction, copper is joining with iodine, okay, I, to give you copper iodide, and that is, and the next thing, if you see, potassium going with chlorine, pairing with chlorine to give you potassium chloride. Okay, now what do I call these kinds of reaction? We call them double displacement reactions. Why double displacement? There is a double, because there is displacement happening two times. Barium is in the first reaction, barium is displacing potassium, and potassium is displacing barium. Second reaction, sodium is displacing calcium, and calcium is displacing sodium. Third reaction, silver is displacing sodium, and sodium is displacing silver. So it's like both ways. That's why we call it double displacement. So what is a double displacement? A chemical reaction in which the ions in the reactants are exchanged to form a precipitate is called a double displacement reaction. As you can see in all these reactions, there is a precipitate form. That's why you can see the downward arrow. Remember when we were learning the steps for writing a chemical equation, we saw that whenever there's a precipitate, we show by a downward arrow sign. Remember, that's we will learn one step there, one rule for writing chemical equation. So can you see barium chromate? You get a yellow precipitate. What is a precipitate again? Something which settles down in a test tube. When a reaction happens and something settles down, that particular thing is called as a precipitate. So in all this reaction, if you see there's a downward sign arrow, that means these are all precipitates. In other words, in all double displacement reactions, you will generally get a precipitate. Okay, that's why some people also call double displacement reactions as precipitation reactions. Now these are also called double decomposition reactions also. Double decomposition matlab why? Because both the compounds got decomposed. Double decomposition. If you see the first reaction, barium and sulfate both got decomposed. Second reaction, first reaction ka second reactant, potassium and chromate both got decomposed. But the bond between them broke, and that's why they could join with each other. Okay, they mutually exchange their places. Okay, so that's why we call them double. We also call the double decomposition reaction or precipitation. Why? Because you get a precipitate on all these reactions. I hope this is clear. So with this we finish the first method of classification.